Cheyenne Hammerman. Fallon Beamer.
And welcome here to Iowa Central Softball. I'm Tyson Strayer here with Wyatt. And Wyatt, today we've already missed one.
Yes, we have.
Just a little bit of technical difficulties here. First batter retired. So we're coming into this game, one out here in the top of the first. Iowa Central now one ball behind on the first batter. Iowa Central here won the earlier game. They had to shore up a little bit of a rain out that had happened on Southwestern's turf.
Makeup game from a previously started game,
So today they're basically gonna end up playing 2 1/3 game. They had to play 3 innings just off of this. Iowa Central expected to win this. They come into this now 24 and 3.
That is a solid record.
Pardon me, 24 and 7. So Iowa Central,
that is
30
a solid record.
30 games in. They're averaging about 4 wins per loss, so they're cruising through this. This one hit squarely over to center field. Egan back, tracking it.
No problem for her.
Going to handle that one routine. Especially with the shortened outfield that you get in softball. You get a player like that with that kind of speed over in center.
Yep.
She can cover a lot of ground. Craig now coming up to take her cuts. As Iowa Central looking for a 1-2-3 to start it.
It would not be a bad thing to happen. It's always a good thing, as a pitcher myself, to have a 1-2-3 start to a game. It's a really good feeling.
Yep, looking to start cruising, and Jessame, while on the mound, she's cruising more often than not. Hasn't had many trouble spots through this season. I believe still 2 official losses on it. So pretty much when they put her out on the mound, they expect to win this game. This one comes in a bit inside. She likes to work that inside part of the plate.
Nothing wrong with that as long as you hit your spot.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That 1-1 pitch finds its way over the plate, 1-2. Attacking early, she likes to get ahead of batters, and, well, that should be every pitcher's goal.
Nothing more important than starting off with a couple strikes, get yourself ahead in the count.
Oh, there she tries to nibble that outside corner. It must have been inches outside. Official lets it go. 2-2. 2-2 with a couple of batters down. Here, this one's grounded over to third. Scooped up over to Rolling. She handles that well. Keeps her foot on the bag. Iowa Central rolling now with. They'll get the bats. Egan leading off right after this short break on the Tri-Nation Network.
for Detroit. Center fielder Alexis Egan.
Now leading off for the Tritons, we're going to get started here. We're going to have to do a little bit of
Little bit
makeshift
of
radio
radio,
broadcasting
yep.
here, partner. But as we get this going, Alexis Egan steps in. She's got a short stride to the ball. She'll step in left-handed. Pretty much the theory of your prototypical leadoff hitter. She wants to put the ball on the
Absolutely.
ground and see what happens.
Get on base any way you can.
First pitch bounces there. She'll leave that one. Go up 1-0. A lot of speed on her. Plays a solid center field. That's where she'll start most of the games this season. Likes to crowd up on that plate. She's willing to get hit too.
Like I said, any way on.
Takes this one about knee-high down the middle. 1-1 count here. Iowa Central trying to get a little bit of an early jump on the board, which they're so good at. Now with that last game, Wyatt, 6 of their last 7, they have went into double digits with this offense.
That
So
is incredible. That's a powerhouse.
it's a team that's swinging the bat very well coming in. A lot of confidence.
Confidence is a huge part of the game at the plate, for sure. If you go up there thinking, hey, I'm going to get a base hit here, more than likely you will.
There she shortens up, squares up with the bunt. She's going to be on.
And she definitely let her legs do the work there.
Third baseman got a good read on it, came up, but at the end of the day, it's speed versus speed there. Egan outruns the ball to the bag, and now
Third baseman Sonia McCormick.
Sonia McCormick will come up with a chance to maybe start a little bit of a rally here. She gets
Get something going early.
If McCormick can get something going here, you have the feeling that something is in the works in the top of this first.
Absolutely.
McCormick squares around. She can't place the bunt well. She puts it back.
She'll cruise in the second without a problem.
And there you get the feeling that she was never going to commit to that bunt. It was just a little bit of something
Just get them thinking.
to put into the catcher's face even so. 1-0. Runner on second. It's Egan. McCormick at the plate dealing with a 1-0 count after the steal. So early, 4 pitches in, and Iowa Central is working with a runner in scoring position here, threatening. McCormick waiting for the pitch. She steps in right-handed. She's got a big stride, trying to put a pop into this ball, but it's in on her hands. She lets it go. Egan, they've got a chance at her. She's going.
Right in behind the tag.
Slides in behind that tag. The throw comes out a little bit late. McCormick now, 2-0 up. Egan on third, just 1 base away.
There we go.
Lets that one go on the inside part of the plate, and she goes up 3-0.
It's up now.
And now with a good hitter like McCormick at the plate, 3-0 up, and a runner on base, they might be thinking of not putting this one anywhere near the plate. They do get it over 3-1. And now the question, it's made a little bit even more complicated by the fact that there's some really dangerous hitters behind her. 3-1, runner on third. Do you even bother pitching to her? They do. She'll get a ball on the ground. They're going to have to make the throw. Egan will go.
Oh,
Nope, pardon me. She's going to hang at third, so it'll be a ground ball out over to the left part of the infield.
How about shortstop? Callejo.
So McCormick grounds out over to short, and now Callejo will come up. She's shown her power here the last couple games home. This one,
I could get
even
her
if
in.
it might drop. It doesn't drop. It's a beautiful play by the
catch.
center fielder. She lays out, scoops that ball up, but
The run will score nonetheless.
it's gonna cost Egan going across the plate for them to get this out. So
That was a beautiful catch, though.
gonna go down as a no at bat for KO. So she'll get the RBI on the sack, and Iowa Central will go up here 1-0. This one coming in puts a decent
Another
jolt
tough
into
play.
it. It's gonna be
She makes a catch.
handled here in shallow center by the second baseman.
First, 1 run, 1 hit, no runners left on base.
So Iowa Central
Iowa's up to 1, Southwestern 0.
goes up 1-0 here on 1 hit, but they do a good job, Wyatt, playing small ball,
Absolutely.
moving the runners
Any way
over.
you can get runs. It doesn't always have to be the long ball. Chip away, bunts,
And
smart
like,
base running.
the reason I want to accentuate the small ball is because we saw an awful lot of power
Yep.
here just 3 days ago. KO, who just had the sack fly, she came up. She's hot right now. She's coming off of a 2 for 3 with 2 home runs in her last game. But she decided that time that her goal coming into that at bat was to elevate one.
Yep, that's really
Goes
important. Really
plays
important to have a dynamic offense, not always relying on just a long ball to get things done.
So technical play, KO gets the and now we got picture back so we can talk a little bit through this. She gets the RBI. Iowa Central goes 1-0. We'll be back after a couple minutes on the Triton Nation Network.
Leading off the second for Spartans. Shortstop, Abby Davis.
So now Abby Davis comes up. She's going to try to get on top of the first, and now they're trying to get their run.
Yep.
And anyone watching of baseball knows that getting a run really isn't that all that important. It's how you defend that run in the next.
That's how you hold it off, exactly. See if they can have another quick inning for here.
May comes in. Every batter so far, she started in on the hands with a well.
Especially on a cold day like this.
And it's blowing from center field right back into the catcher's face.
Yep.
So it's jolt into one.
Gonna have to work on the small ball for sure.
This first pitch over for a ball. One of the only Iowa Central players in this entire offense.
Doing good on deep slapping on the offense. You just got to work it out.
And really, I mean, you get to this level. Oh, she takes a big swing. Got her way out ahead on the changeup.
Swings right through it.
She was not looking changeup.
No.
1-1. Now the mind game gets played because do you go back off speed or do you start actually? Nope, they're going to follow the game plan.
This is up.
It's really interesting to see when they decide to break the pattern because usually you go fast, soft. So when the mental game starts getting played.
Gear starts spinning.
Rolling does a good job, takes this one high and in. 3-1 now. Got herself in a hitter's count. And you got to figure she's got the green light, especially since they're trying to maybe work her way out of this a little bit.
Yep.
Ooh, I think it was a good idea to take. It was 3-1, and it wasn't one that she was going to be able to do an awful lot with.
You're gonna swing 3-1. It's got to be your pitch. Got to make sure you can do something with it.
So now 3-2, she'll be looking to fight something off or put something into play well. Just a little bit ahead of everything this at bat. Fouls that one back.
A little bit jumpy. Slow it down. Look to right field.
And sometimes that's what happens when you're not quite feeling it on a particular stretch of games. Start looking for anything to put in play.
Absolutely. Just gotta.
But
patience is key.
So far, she's worked this bat very well. 3-2, the payoff pitch coming. Comes, same result.
Keeps following them off, and as we've discussed many times, that the more pitches that the batter falls off, the more angry, I guess you could say, the pitcher gets, and a lot of times the batter will come out on top of a long pitch at bat.
And even if you can work, I think it's a 7-pitch at bat at this point. You work a 7-8 pitch at bat, even if you get out, you can go back to the dugout feeling like you've done something productive with it.
Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with getting out on a 7, 8, 9 pitch at bat.
3-2, and she's went high and inside on these last 3 pitches. It's pretty much been identical foul backs. And this one, she's going to be a bit
Fouled
early on,
again.
too. Just unable to get the touch for this timing so far. She's seeing the ball well.
She's seen it, yeah. She hit that one well. Just a little jumpy yet. Got to wait back.
And it's just a matter of that was a changeup on the inside. Just being able to keep those, identify it. Is this one there? And
that's a scary feeling at third base.
Sometimes when things aren't rolling your way, they just really aren't rolling your way. Absolute screamer over to third.
Yes. That's the thing about baseball, though. You get one screaming right at you, then next at bat you'll come up and bloop one over the first baseman's head for a single. So it all evens itself out.
Absolutely. And so far, Sam's having a busy inning, a ground out to third, a line out to third. This one crushed.
Hit very well, but foul.
And you can tell this more change-up, curveball-oriented pitcher has got the Tritons a little bit out ahead of everything. It's not like she's been fooling them. It's just the timing hasn't really developed interior yet. And that is something that gets less and less of an advantage the more times through the lineup we go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the danger, even when you're getting through 2 runs against one of the best 2 innings, against one of the best teams in the country like this. This one swung at and fouled off. But you also get the feeling that maybe maybe seeing this many pitches and seeing this many breaking balls, especially a pitcher that relies mainly on breaking balls, that there's going to become a point the second or third time through where they're not surprised anymore and not in front of anything.
Seeing more and more pitches is definitely a good thing as a hitter. So you know what's coming. You can pick up on patterns and stuff like that and help you out in your next at bat.
Yeah, and sometimes it's so hard, especially against an aggressive team. Against a pitcher like this for an aggressive team like Iowa Central, to really, when you're so used to jumping on those first few pitches, to get in your head to keep those hands hanging back just that extra second longer.
And these hitters are just really giving her a rough time with these foul balls.
And they are fouling everything off, and that. Like I said, one of the important things is a lot of these hits are going to come late in at-bats.
Yep, late in at bat and throwing how many pitches, and it's just not a great feeling for a pitcher on the mound.
And this one is skied over to right. Should be easy. She misreads it off.
Absolutely misread it. I don't know if she lost it.
It's going to end up going into right.
Not really sure what happened there. Lost in the sun, possibly. I don't know. Just could have possibly just misread the wind.
And that's a scoring decision because they were far away. I personally would call that an error on the right fielder.
That's a
mental
catchable.
Mistake, wandered away. Technically, no contact made. But when you get into the semantics of would an average right fielder have made that play on this particular day, you do have to account and win. But now caught in between second and third, she tries to dare the throw a little bit of gamesmanship there. So Rolling reaches on an error. Now she's on second, and that's the kind of thing that this is a team that can hurt you on their own. This is the kind of thing you don't want to extend innings against Iowa Central.
No, you do not. You do not want to give these people this team more at bats.
Newell now.
She's really trying to get a throw from the catcher here.
And I'll tell you one thing: if they can get that runner in motion and lay it down, there might not be anyone in the conference quicker from the point of contact on the bat to first base than Newell. Thinking about taking a swing there. They will let her hit in this situation, though, because she's a decent hitter.
Yes.
Her own personal on-base percentage would probably be served a little bit better if she bunted every time, but in situations like this, she's perfectly capable of driving this RBI in, so they might let her take a hack. Takes that one inside. 3-1. And now she might find something to cut at.
3-1 is the count to see a good pitch.
Yep, last time 3-1, she went to the changeup away. Does the same thing and gets a swing over the top.
Very good pitch there.
Beautiful pitch. And especially that a changeup is a nightmare for a pitcher, a batter that gets that couple step start, because it's one extra timing device to try to sync up with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Lets that one go high and outside. She's worked her way into a walk. Nothing wrong with taking what the pitcher gives you.
Nope.
So Wagner reaches second. Reaches second on an air from the right fielder, and Newell walks, and now they might have something cooking here with 2 outs.
A little 2-out rally.
Mathis,
takes a nice hack at that, but falls straight back.
And you can see her dump her head a little bit because that thing was set up on a tee for her. Just gets under it.
The pitcher definitely does not want to make another mistake like that.
Mathis down 0-1. And she gets up and under the breaking ball. Tracked down by the center fielder, handled.
Makes the catch this.
Easily, ranging. Way out there, Cassidy Craig gets the out. Iowa Central still only up 1-0. They threatened there for a bit, but we'll be going in to the third inning. Up 1-0. We'll be right back after this short break. And we're back here with the top of the third inning. Jessame now. She's working on no runs, on no hits. She's clean through 2. definitely way deep into the game to say that she's rolling, but she's definitely off to the kind of start that a pitcher wants to have.
Absolutely.
And especially on a day where you're going to be playing 3 games, having one of your starters looking like she's going to go deep out of the gate has to be a good sign.
It's a great sign. Great for coaches to see that.
Because, especially in a season where these girls usually end up playing 60 or 70 games, management of your bullpen, and if you can give them a day off every now and again, is huge.
It's huge. Yep, absolutely huge.
This first pitch outside, 1-0. May
right
working. Just 4 days off of a complete game win against Ellsworth, where she gave up 2 runs. So her last time out was successful. And actually, not only did she have, in that doubleheader, she ended up getting the win on the mound in a complete game in the first game. And then the second game, she actually hit the walk-off double.
Wow.
That drove in the RBI.
Big day for her.
Craig working 1-2. Oh, takes a big swing and a miss.
And they will throw it around.
She's lucky she fooled her on the timing because it wasn't the best located pitch she's put all day, but mixing up, playing the mental
If
game.
you mix your speeds, you can get away with one over the plate once in a while.
Second baseman Alexis Bronner.
Now Bronner coming up, playing second base today. Really only been tested there with a couple weak pop flies and 1 ground ball. So her first chance here to really make an impact on this game. As she walks in, May now threw 2 1/3. Still not having to deal with the base runner, and it's almost feast or famine because you know how much easier it is pitching with the bases clean if you can keep yourself ahead of it.
It truly is.
And now a rare first pitch miss in her complete game where she cruised against Ellsworth. It pretty much looked like every time you looked up at the board it said 0-2.
And jumping ahead is so important. I really can't stress it enough as a pitcher myself. It's really important. It changes the whole dynamic of the at bat to get even the first strike or first 2 strikes.
Especially against patient batters, allows you to put pressure on.
Yes, it does.
It has to change the mindset once you're down.
Yep.
There she gets her swinging on the inside pitch. 1-2. She just went inside soft. I'm guessing we're going to see the fastball in, and we do. You see, and she works very quickly, and that's important because while I'm mentally going through what I think is gonna
doesn't give
I'm
batter
talking
time.
Yeah, while I'm talking through it, that's all the time that the woman at the plate has too.
Ooh, very close pitch there.
And she's worked the count full. A good at bat here. Bronner now. The 8-hole hitter, so trying to get something going. Just slapped it there. That's a good. And it's not going to end up in the stat book, but that's a great way to save your at-bat.
Absolutely.
And because you mentioned driving up the pitch count is one thing, but also the deeper you work in the at-bat, the pitcher is not perfect. Eventually, you're going to run into a mistake.
They will throw a ball or leave one out over the plate.
There, that's inside, and there she
was completely unsure of what she wanted to do.
Yeah,
there.
she handled that at-bat beautifully to work the count full and to foul off a couple. That was the first one where she looked in between speeds.
Yes.
Gets caught with a check swing. She'll go down.
Right fielder Amanda Bronner.
So now Bronner. Pardon me, Volmner. It was just Bronner up at bat. Bronner and Volmner going straight in that one. Just nice.
Painting the corners there.
And just nice and stiff on the outer third. Oh, 1. She's working ahead again. And wasting no time. Jumps up 0-2 on the foul ball. Had her behind that one.
See if she gets craftier to finish off this at bat.
And another thing, so many girls, softball is built more around slapping the ball than driving the ball. So many girls have that inside-out swing. And painting the inside corner bothers that.
Absolutely.
Because they're so used to being able to keep their hands back and flicking out. And that really serves middle third out hitting.
Yes, it does.
So now May working up 1-2, trying to get through 3 innings clean. The 1-2 pitch.
Oh.
Fouled off. Good job keeping herself alive. She hasn't been running into no resistance so far. A lot of long at-bats forced.
Well, yep, a couple long at-bats. See how that affects her down the road in this game.
Nobody yet able to really put one in play. They haven't been able to find much solid contact around her.
No, they have not.
This one comes in. It's a bit inside. The official called it that way, 2-2. Good call from the official, and honestly, 1-2. Especially when that inside pitch, you have to jump on it so early, so a
Yes.
good job to keep yourself patient there. She misses pretty much same spot. 3-2, so now for maybe the first time.
Yeah.
For the first time in this at-bat, she's run into a little bit of
trouble. A little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, and a little bit of a streak of maybe missing her spots a bit. So she'll come in with the payoff pitch. Gets that going, and she was trying to just put that one letter high down the middle and see if she could reach it. So now in a fight, another long at-bat. And this, you're happy to get this out of your 9-hitter.
Oh yeah, definitely. Bottom of the lineup got to be just as important as the top.
The payoff pitch, May. This one put up, and she might be perfect through 3. She is.
And she is. Very routine play to center.
Egan takes one step to the left, corrals that one in. Iowa Central now with their chance to try to get back on this board. Offense been quiet so far. We'll see what happens.
He runs.
And now we're back, and it's rarer than you'd think. The leadoff woman's going to end up leading off more than one inning today. Walks in, lefty. You got to figure this is exactly the kind of situation she's comfortable in.
Definitely.
And it's more of a factor as this one goes over in volleyball. In softball than it is in baseball, which is if she gets on base, she's going to have a clean track.
Yes.
No one on in front of her. And Newell and Egan, 2 players that they're definitely they're a threat to be on third and 2 pitches if you're not capable of stopping them. Egan now 1-1. Looks to
one-handed
stick
bunt
out
there.
the bunt. And I'm not 100% on the rule book there, but I don't think there's any doubt that that's a commitment to the ball. So 1-2.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
1-2. Now she'll have to protect. Does a good job of it.
Yep, does a great job of fouling that one off.
But also good pitch selection. A hitter that's taken that slap running start to it. It is hard to get to that outside pitch. Hanging out there for her.
Yep.
See if she can keep herself alive. Infield creeping in. You can see they've played a massive shift over at the second base.
Second base is right up on the pitcher there.
So if she can get one on the ground hard, she should earn herself a single.
Yes.
Bringing those people in opens up a lot of gaps. That one off the handle. 2-2. And really doing her job up at the top of the lineup, because what you're told, every coach has a little bit of a different version of it, but everyone tells you at the top of the lineup, be a pest.
Yep.
And here, she might have found a gap out in front of, nope, pardon me, carries a bit too much. They had the center field playing in too. Off the bat, I wasn't aware of the fielder, because if she would have dumped that there on a normal shift, maybe had a chance, but they play her well.
Played her real well.
A scouting report is a beautiful thing.
It is.
And here's McCormick, who, speaking of scouting report, grounded out over to short. Was a little bit ahead of everything, and there, she's on it.
She's right on it, just missed that one.
So as she waits, if you remember, she's got a lot of power, and she's seeing the ball very, very well, making square contact with everything, but she was pulling everything a mile foul early, too. And there she laid down the bunt. Not the fastest player on the field.
Maybe trying to catch him by surprise there.
And it won't work there. Generally, it's Egan who's going to bunt for it, and then she's going to try to put a ball in play and maybe see what happens with Egan. But there, drops it down, gets thrown out at first. Wasn't by much, half a stride maybe.
Very close play.
Now Callejo, speaking of power. Oh, rips this one.
Jumps right on the first pitch and takes it
high
deep.
and deep and off the pole over there, foul. Callejo, just 3 days ago, hit one into the barrier that protects the cars over in the parking lot. Absolutely smashed that. Oh, gets her way ahead of it. Beautiful. And, I think that was more out of necessity. She saw what just almost happened to her fastball.
Yep.
Decided that we're not going to let her see another one of those. This one, check swing. So as I mentioned before, for folks who, it might not be put properly into perspective how hard she hit that ball on Tuesday, but that safer barrier out there, if there was another field behind it, she probably would have flew out to shallow left.
Oh, as she goes down.
That one paints the outside corner.
Does not seem too happy about the call.
Yeah, she's a little frustrated, but that was a beautiful pitch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Fisher makes the right call. Iowa Central now will be going into the fourth. Still 1-0. Great game here so far. We'll be back. And we're back here in the fourth as I get the scoreboard right. Pardon me. Got caught up in the game just a bit. Walking in May so far, clean through 4. Hasn't allowed a base runner. She is absolutely grooving right now. Oh, tried to work that
outside.
One. I think it was a bit low and a bit outside. She could have got away with one or the other.
Yep.
May dealing with the pitch.
Tries for that same spot again, but misses.
Two-0 count here with no one out in the top of the fourth. May again, and she's been able to hit that knee-high area.
She really has.
Consistently, and now second time through the order, you can see her, she's mixing up a little bit better.
Yep.
She really pounds a lot inside that first time through, and the batters get through the second time. She does a very good job of now is when she starts.
A chance for their first base runner of the day.
Designated player. If you're playing behind the plate, if you're seeing a lot of that fastball, they do. Bat, and she fought very well, but that was she hits it.
Yep. You've got to do the batters
before.
Yes,
but to have a great day, you get lucky with a couple of your slip-ups because no one. This one flipped out over. It's going to be the first. Oh. Have to be a bit more practice. This one coming in on it.
Still fighting.
So far, before, I think it was 4 fastballs in her way. Off the heel of. So that one an error, and it puts it on. Puts a runner on base, and that has to be, especially a pitcher that's had a game, giving up 1 run on 2 hits. That, as we mentioned before, that run got scored off of all the way through that sequence. To have the error here,
it's big.
Which means that you have to fight your way out of a battle you didn't put yourself in. That could be the difference in this game, where both pitchers are pitching great.
Yes, that's the thing about low-scoring games. Is every mistake could potentially put you in the L category.
Sarah Rolling lined out to third in her last at bat. Oh, she
Oh.
smokes it. It's high and deep. It's
see if it
hooking
stays fair.
foul.
Absolutely crushed. But
As
just foul.
we mentioned before that she's been the one to get solid contact on it.
See if she can maybe do it again. Just wait back just a tick more and put it over the fence on the correct side of the foul pole.
If it was it was a no doubter if
Nope,
it stayed
there was-
fair.
Yep. Just if it
Slice.
stayed fair. No question about it leaving the park or not.
And you know, it's not really a mental downer. It's not going to ruin you or anything. It is a bit frustrating to know that you are a quarter second away.
It is. It is frustrating.
And this one bounced to the plate. It's going to advance the runner.
Right. Good stop by the third baseman to keep that one from going in the left field.
There was a throw, and it was almost an ill-advised throw. Really no point in
Nope.
it.
She
But
was there.
well executed. At least so they didn't give up the run on it. 2-2. And now it puts Rolling in a position where she's looking to elevate something. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. Looking for
put
something
something
up in
there.
the zone.
Ooh.
Might
Look
have
out
got
over there, third.
Might have committed. It's something that just naturally happens when you know that you don't even have to. You're just trying to put something in play hard to the right side of the field.
Yep.
It almost opens up for you to swing at pitches that you shouldn't be swinging at.
It does.
This one she should have been hooks it down.
Absolutely crushed again, but foul.
Again, just a heartbeat early.
That would be frustrating. Two hits now that should have, or 2 solid contacts now that should have been
Should've-
hits if you just waited a little bit
Excuse
longer.
me. Now as a batter, you're looking for something high enough for you to put a fly ball on, or you're looking for something that you can push to the right side.
Yes.
She actually would have been attempting one lap over towards the first baseman and get your RBI, but she does a good job hanging back. 3-2 count. See what she's got. Dealing. Puts it up. Field.
It's
And
another
the
one of those
shortstop.
really frustrating for the pitcher. 'Cause
And
it made an absolute beautiful pitch, but the hitter just did something a little bit better.
You know, in baseball, what I was mentioning before with the 2 errors, right?
Right fielder, Maddie Wagner.
Baseball is such a game of luck where you can do everything perfect and something can roll your way. So what you want to do when you're playing Russian roulette, you don't want to pull the trigger any more times than you have to.
No.
And those errors just lead to more chances, and
Yep.
that's what happened there.
Has a pass ball here. Takes second base.
It's going to not go down as an earned run, but it is a run that's directly the fault
Yes.
of a mistake.
Yep.
You keep putting runners on second over and over again. Eventually, something dumb is going to happen like that. So Sarah Rolling now has. How about this? She's had one ball she crushed, and she had one ball that she barely got a piece of. And guess which
Yep.
one got her the single and the RBI?
The one she barely got a piece of.
1-1, 1 out here. Still a runner on second. So, not even out of the woods yet after the air. And the air changing everything. This one
That's
put
gonna be
over.
it.
Has a
Make it
chance to
down.
drop. I
Nope.
think it dropped foul. Yep.
Just about a foot foul.
In Iowa Central, as we mentioned, it's not a day. It's not a.
11, and she's able to third.
You can correct fair yet.
No.
So
A lot closer than I thought
yeah,
it was going to be.
makes it a closer. So. And Newell, the perfect. Pretty much one of the only players that came to the park figuring that the cold weather and the wind didn't affect anything.
Yep.
Newell pretty much just still gets to play her game plan, slap the ball. They're playing the same shift. Second baseman in deep. Third baseman hanging back. She might have got this one a bit too hard. Yep. Got too much of that bunt.
She did.
Got to the pitcher too quick. But still, she did everything wrong with the bunt. Exactly wrong. Still, they had to make a good, solid play to go over. So now Newell has walked and grounded out to the pitcher, and we'll be right back. Iowa Central up 3-0 after the rolling single and the sac fly from Wagner. We'll be right back on the Tri Nation Network. And welcome back here. Sitting here at the top of the fifth. Iowa Central now up 3-0. And they've done it, Wyatt, they've done it on base running and taking advantage of one error. Both of those runs, you could say, came as a result of an error.
Definitely, yes.
This one grounded over. Handled, flung over, Rolling deals with it well.
Very routine play.
5-3, well done. You know, I've always hated the term routine because anyone that's actually taken the ball, it's not routine for you.
Yes, that is true. But they sure do a good job of making it look routine.
Yeah. And it's the team that handles the most little things throughout the game that usually ends up.
Nice hack there, but swings right through it.
And that's why, for all the randomness of the game, and it is a random game. It's not a game like basketball where if you play 7 games for the most part, the best team is going to win at least 6 of them. A bounce here,
or baseball or softball, either one can go any way, anytime.
So it is a game where there's a lot of randomness and it gets a reputation for that. But there's a reason why at the end of the day, when you play 162 games in the MLB or 60, 70 games here, that the best teams end up with the best records.
Doing all the easy things to get the job done. It's not always the flashy plays that get it done. It's the fundamentals and making the plays that you should.
And quickly again, she's jumped out ahead of a batter. 1-2 while we were talking. Jessa May, both pitchers really firmly in control.
Gets the swing.
There's been let's just recount this. There's been 4 hits. The one hit for Southwestern was a little flare over the first base.
Yes, it was.
Was over the third baseman's head. Texas leaguer into left. The 3 hits for Iowa Central, the single by Rolling was just a little blooper over the top.
Yep.
And then they have 2 bunts from Egan and Newell.
Yeah, so nothing really squared up yet as for hit wise. They've been hitting it hard, just foul.
And it's one where one pitcher has the other team way ahead and guessing, and Jessa May is just overpowering.
She really is.
So now 0-1 in firm control. Pounds that inside corner.
Look good from up here.
1-1. 1-1 here early in the 5th. 2 out. May, well, she's working quickly. We just had a little casual beginning of inning conversation, and now the inning's almost over. She's blowing through this.
Rolling right through this inning.
And it's almost one that she needed to get back on track. She threw a lot of a lot of pitches in the last inning.
It's always nice to, after coming off a relatively high pitch count inning, to get one that ends quickly.
And especially, you got to figure she's their ace.
Definitely.
And she's on a hot streak even for her. At this point of the year, she's feeling very well. So you got to figure in a day where they're going to have to start at least 3 pitchers because they've had to play half of a game earlier, and they're going to have to play 2, where they put her out specifically planning for her to go at least 6.
Yes.
And so far, she's well on her way. This one, they get her way out ahead. It'll be an easy pop fly over to second, and it's brought in by Holmbaum. So Iowa Central so far breezing through. Yet to commit an error, and so far that's really the difference. It was 1-0.
Yes, it is.
An error allowed an inning to extend. Not extend, there was only 1 out, but an error allowed an inning to become more of a problem than it should have been. Iowa Central scores 2 more on a single and a sac fly. Again, a single that was it's gonna look a lot better in the score sheet than it did in real life.
Yes, it will.
She's hit balls harder today and not got hits out of them, but little Texas leaguer over left, and like we mentioned before, you leave that door open.
Yes,
with errors, and you just hope that they don't walk through it. That time they got burned.
Yes, they did.
So we'll be right back here with the bottom of the 5th, Iowa Central up 3-0. So Mathis is going to be leading off the Tritons half. of this inning. Bottom coming up, but the bottom is Newell just went Mathis and Oryx. You can tell it's a bottom that's not built. They didn't necessarily put a traditional 7-8-9 hitter down this role. And honestly, I don't think there's a girl in this lineup who on most teams would be a 7, 8, or 9.
No.
A lot of talent here at the bottom, but they've done a very good job getting on. And speaking of, looked like off the bat,
Looked hard off the bat.
it had a couple options. It looked like it had a chance to go flare into that gap, but I think the wind held that up just a bit. There is still a stiff wind coming.
They went right into that wind. Definitely did not help that ball at all.
And as you can see, I'd say a good 60-70%, 60-70% as this one laid down of the players out there wearing sleeves because it is a cold day for ball.
Yes, it is.
And, that's playing right. And if you can keep yourself loose, there are challenges for each position. But if you can keep yourself loose, if you can keep yourself focused, this is a day where a pitcher can take control.
It is.
This one
Nice little slap.
lined in, and that's the risk you play with the shift.
Yes.
Egan now 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, so having herself the kind of day you hope for from your leadoff hitter.
Absolutely.
So now McCormick is coming in, and she's grounded out to the left and grounded out through the middle, one to the third baseman, one to the pitcher. So still trying to find herself a line drive. She's rolled over, and again, that's just watching the at-bat, watching the form. There's a lot of things that can cause ground balls, but they are purely caused by being fooled on the timing.
Yep. Squares the bunt.
Squares up, Egan is going, and she's going to cruise on in.
Bit of a wide throw from the catcher that time.
Wide throw. If it had been on the bag, they would have had a chance, but it still looked like she was off.
Yeah.
Now the question is, up by 3. I'm going to force you to play coach here.
Okay.
Up by 3. Last time she went first to third on 4 pitches. Are you thinking about sending her again during this at-bat? This one looped out. Way ahead of that one.
No, I don't think so. I think you try and let your hitter get it done. Don't not risk out the third.
The only reason that I would what I would think about doing, honestly, because McCormick handles the bat very, very well here, this pitch. This one popped over into shallow left.
Might be trouble over there.
Now dealt with well by the shortstop, who covered a ton of ground.
She did. She ran quite a distance to make that catch.
Got up and tracked it. What I was saying is, while you had the at-bat early, the only thing I would have thought of is putting the runner in motion and seeing if you could lay a bunt down to the right side, because it's something McCormick does very well. But at the end of the day, I think I agree with you. I'd rather have McCormick and Callejo both have a chance. Between the two, you figure you're going to find a hit somewhere.
Absolutely.
McCormick now, though, 0 for 3. She's grounded out and flew out. KO is 0 for 1. She sac flied in the first run of this game and then struck out looking. Again, just a little bit ahead of everything. KO here now. She's quickly down 0-2. She struck out in her last at-bat looking. Going to have to be a bit more aggressive here.
Hard.
It's hit hard through the middle, but that just makes the play for the shortstop a bit easier.
Yes, it does.
Honestly, if she hadn't made such square contact, she probably would have been safe at first.
Yep.
She grounds out to first. The end of the inning. Iowa Central still up 3-0. We'll
Yep.
be right back here with the 6th. And now Alexis Bronner is going to lead off this inning, and it's still it's a 3-run game, which is usually pretty substantial in the 6th inning, but still, this seems like the kind of game where once the pitcher has control, if they can get a little bit of an opening, maybe they'll start to get something rolling.
Yep.
But so far, Jessamay hasn't left them much.
No, she has not.
She's pitched a borderline impeccable game. I can think of a couple pitches.
Yeah.
I can think of a couple pitches that she left over the middle of the
But
plate.
like he said earlier, you can't have every pitch be exactly where you want.
She got a few good favors on those, and then as baseball does, it repaid her back. She located one perfectly low and away.
Yep.
Just got the head of the bat out there, loops it over the third baseman, and that's her one hit she's given up so far. She's scoreless through 5. This one popped up and out. She's pitched a scoreless game through 5, giving up one hit, and Iowa Central has committed 1 error. Here, the 2-1 pitch. And as she has all day, she just gets herself right back in. A rare at bat where she had to work from behind, but she's pulled even.
Yep.
And, that's something, whether you're a baseball or softball pitcher, if you're watching this, you see both of these pitchers working. And, you see totally different styles. Jessamay busting that fastball in on the hands.
Yep.
While Schaefer has more of a finesse approach. She's nibbling the corners. She's mixing in and out, and she's got this Iowa Central team out in front of everything. So you look at the styles, and you say, is there anything to take from this that we know of one thing makes a good pitcher? One thing, if you're a young pitcher watching this, that you can see on both sides that they're both done impeccably is every time you look up, it is 0-2.
Those 3 runs is almost nothing to blame for the pitcher.
Yeah.
They were both completely different styles, but both getting very good results from their style.
And like I said, the one thing you can find between them, they're both working ahead in the count.
Yep.
Aggressive early. I'd rather take my chances him swinging at something 0-0 and maybe give him something to hit than letting him work and know that something hittable is coming at the 3-1. No balls and 1 strike here with an out in the 6th. Jessamay here. Now you can see she's more often than not using all 3 pitches in the at-bat. She's fully opened up her arsenal. She started out the first time through only throwing the fastball. The second time through, when she really needed it, she showed the changeup every now and again, showed the curveball very rarely. Now she's busting all 3.
Yep.
They're just a straight-laced.
And that's what separates good pitchers from great pitchers, is learning how to adjust to the hitters that you've been facing.
Yeah, especially when you're starting and you know that you're going to have to face them more often than not. Almost make it, if you can make it feel like it's almost 2 different at-bats.
Yep, absolutely.
But that's why you have to pick up as a batter.
Yep.
And what you have to do is you have to watch, and you have to go, yeah, sure, pitchers try to act all scary and random. I don't mean to insult you, but pitchers try to act all, if you can watch and you can notice that if I put him in this situation or her,
more often
this is what she likes to do. Yep. That's going to be the difference in this game, is what they can pick up on that.
It's hard to be truly random as a pitcher. You almost fall into patterns without realizing it.
And sometimes, and as this grounds out in the end, not even without realizing it, but you go to the pattern because that is what logically works best most of the time. Like if you ever watched Greg Maddox pitch on a 1-2 pitch, he would miss. Sorry, on a 1-1 pitch, he would miss, and you would see him, shake his head and look really frustrated. He's not frustrated about that pitch. He's frustrated because he just ruined his plan for that entire pitch. He had a sequence plan.
Yep.
But both of these so far, neither team has really had an answer for the opposing pitcher. Iowa Central, though, has been able to run the bases well. They've been able to keep themselves clean on the defensive end, and that's been the difference.
Yep, it really has.
We'll be right back after this short break. We'll be right back. And now, well, I guess they're going to make her hit. She looks pretty comfortable on the other
Yeah.
end of it. Has to go get her at bats in, I guess. And I guess I have to. We're gonna look and see how she takes this because I know certain pitchers when they're in a zone that just don't want to mess with the batting part of the game at all.
That is me completely.
Just don't even hand me the bat.
If I'm rolling the way she is, there's no way I want a bat shoved in my face.
0-1. The problem is though, and not even a problem. The difference is on this team between her and most pitchers in this situation is she is legitimately a threat on days where she's not pitching. They'll put her. They want to put her out in the field because she can handle the bat very well. Again, just out ahead. And it shows real. It shows that it's real control of the ball and real good job maintaining it. Because up from the booth, or maybe for someone watching, you see all these foul balls going out left, and you go, "Why haven't they made the adjustment yet?" It's because it's a lot easier than it sounds.
Yes, it is.
Especially when they're coming in soft with movement, 1-2 pitch, it gets her swinging. Oh, that thing was tailing away.
Oh yeah.
It started on the outside third, and it just left her.
Number 11, Ashley Honbaum.
So now Hombaum coming up, and she has had way more solid contact than her stat sheet is going to show because it's all been down the left field line. She's grounded out to third and reached on an error to the second baseman. Later would score.
Yep. We'll see if she can wait back a little bit longer here and drive something into play.
And, it's really hard for her because she is, as I mentioned, KO has had a lot of success as of late getting hot with the power, but she's the one that at the beginning of the year, from beginning to end, you're going to trust most consistently to start to drive the ball. So when you're a little bit off timing and you're used to driving the ball, it can almost snowball. And here, she waits back on it. And this one, I think, going to be fielded by the first baseman over.
Very, very quick first 2 outs.
Trying to look for scoring purposes of who actually tracked that ball down. Second baseman, pardon me.
Number 18, Sarah Rowling.
So I'm 0 for 3 now. Sarah Rowling, 1 for 2. A line drive over to second and a pop fly over to left. Guess which one's the hit? Dumped a little blooper over in front of the left fielder's face. So now, but you can see Helmum, as we mentioned earlier. Now both of hers. Oh, Sarah Rowling gets a big piece of it. It's high, it's
She's
deep.
up against the fence.
Up against the fence.
And she
It's tracked
snags
down. Snagged. Out over it. And we don't have the camera angle from ours. It was hard to tell if it was that actual robbery.
I think it was.
But I believe she was reaching
Based
over
on
the
her
fence.
reaction, I believe
Yeah,
that
I believe we have to judge by the reaction because where we're looking, we are dead center on that. We don't really have much
we can't tell
depth on it, but I believe she pulled over that fence.
I think she did.
And you know what? I mentioned before that Sarah Rowling was has had kind of a few games where she's maybe been putting balls in play hard, but things weren't rolling away. And let me tell you, at the end of that, you already kind of feel like the whole world is conspiring against you. Now you are sure.
Oh, yeah.
Now
absolutely.
you are 100% sure that you are not meant to have a day.
Nope. I mean, I was never a power hitter, so I never experienced anything like that, but I'm sure it sucks.
Now you're certain. But she's also got herself a hit and is one of the reasons that they're out ahead now. So at the end of the day, if they collect the W, she'll still end up shaking her head.
Yes. But
all you can do is tip the cap when they do something like that.
Yep.
And we have talked through our break because that was impressive.
That was a great catch, too.
Ranging out Cassidy Craig.
Great catch. Have the awareness, reach for the fence, back up, not crash into it or anything, and then yet look up and make the catch.
And situationally, I mean, it's still a tight game.
Yep. That would have been a
huge play. This one comes in wide 1-0. Justin May, though, right back to work. Trying to complete this. They've got 3 outs to get 3 runs, and it's so far they're going to have to do something they haven't been able to do, which is string a couple of base runners together. So far they've had 2 base runners, 1 on the air. This one tracking down.
It's going out of play.
Out of bounds over the head of Rolling. Up 1-2, trying to get Iowa Central 1 out closer here. tight, competitive game.
Very, very. And this is definitely not over. I mean, 3 runs can happen just like that.
But I'll tell you something. I mean, as a broadcaster, it's our job to keep people interested in this game. But to my eye, it looks like Jessame is cruising, and it looks like she's on her way. She's very comfortable, but then again, 1 or 2 swings of the bat.
Yep.
2-2 pitch.
I won't say well.
Popped over to left, over the head. It's going to be tracked down.
Nice play.
Handled nicely over and left. Tracked down there by Briella Ulrich, and that's all she's in the game for. She's being hit for today, but they trust her enough in left that they wanted her over there, and you see why.
Yep, I was going to say, I can see why. Beautiful play.
1 out here. Gets her way out ahead of that one.
She was looking to take that one deep for sure, which is not necessarily what I would do in this situation. Got to work on base runners, get people moving, but
She did have one. I don't know if she went into that swing planning to have a cut, but I'll just say, because as someone, as you mentioned, and now again jumping out 0-2.
yep.
In a situation like this, as someone who was, preached that you want to work late into a count, you can go up saying that I want to have a cut at 1. I want to see if I can run into 1. Yeah, so put over the outside. Ooh.
I think she almost thought she was about to get rung up there.
Popping up, expecting it. It was probably hanging around the knees and maybe an inch outside.
Yep.
1-2, May trying to put a cap on a great day. She's just 3 strikes away from it.
Oh,
after this one lined over into left. A beautiful swing and the first true blue pure single that they've been able to have all day.
That
and
was
now
a very hard hit ball.
And now you know what? Yeah, sure, it's a 3-run lead and they really haven't had much on her, but they get a base runner here. What's the old saying? A bloop and a blast?
That is it.
They are a bloop and a blast away.
They're 1 swing away from being 1 run down in this game.
And now you can honestly see, and this is very impressive. That might be one of the one of the stiffest fastballs she's thrown all day. She's reaching back for a little bit extra something now. And that's really a sign of a pitcher who's been in control.
Yep.
The fact that she's got through 6 innings and she still has enough in it that she hasn't used that yet.
Yes.
She's been cruising at about 90%. Now she's finding that little bit extra to reach back for. 2-0 though. This one popped up and foul. That being said, that like we mentioned, you couldn't see it in the velocity, but you can tell by the way she's holding that arm. She is deep into her day of work.
Yes, she is.
6 1/3, trying to put a great day in. And as we mentioned before, you have to figure that however this ends up, that they're not looking to, even if the rally starts, that they're not looking to dig for a reliever. They've got 3 games today.
They're going to let her finish this out.
Let's see, nobody working yet.
Nope.
No, pardon me, they do.
Oh, yeah, they got someone.
Down the line, but you have to figure that it's a very long leash, especially since there's an entire game left to play after this. And that one put out. And that probably missed by a little bit, but it looks a lot thinner on the margins when you're standing on the mound a six and a third innings into your evening.
Those are the most frustrating when you're at the end of the game there, when you just want to finish.
But now she's worked herself 3-1. This is dangerous. Puts it up and high. Now it might be time to have a conversation.
Yep.
Nope, they're going to leave her.
Going to let her go.
Situation says maybe, but the coach knows his player.
Yep, that's confidence.
And honestly, what I would be thinking, or what I would say to her, even if you did walk out there, is you've been forcing a lot of ground balls all day, and we're 1 ground ball away from walking home. So execute your pitch. So now coming in, Schaefer. How fitting is this? This one being tracked down, popped over.
Just out of play.
After all this, after all the back and forth, how well both teams have pitched with the runner on first and second, it's still May versus Schaefer.
Yep. All the way through.
It's been the duel all day, and now they have it at the plate. The pitch. Oh, paints the outside. Beautiful. And just like that, she's up 0-2, and that's not a pitch I'm so sure that you can let go by.
No.
It was hittable. It was very hittable.
It was hittable, yes.
And going down 0-2 against a pitcher who's on the game like this.
It's not something
She
you
just
do.
worked outside. Let's see if she pops back in, leaves that one out. 1-2. She had a pitch to waste.
Yep, not a bad pitch there on 0-2.
And now, yeah, you could dig deep into your bag of tricks, but the arm is tired. Everything is going. Right now, what do you have the most faith in? We'll see where they go. Inside pitch. It's blasted. Out deep. It's giving a heart attack, but it's tracked down. Everyone can take a sigh of relief. It will move the runner up, but now they got a runner stuck between.
Closer.
They got a runner stuck between second and
She's
first.
going home.
They're going to take the out.
Oh,
and that's a good smart play. They're going to give up. They're going to give up the run and take the third out. So it was poorly executed.
Yeah.
Half of what they attempt, that's a weird play to do. They're trying to draw the play, but they almost went too far out to draw the play that they actually put themselves in trouble. That's what he was waiting for. You could see the cutoff woman looking and saying, not yet, not yet. But as soon as they got to the point where it was a sure out, flick over, they flew too close to the sun with the move they're trying to make. So it's going to take the day. If the second goes up 3-1, complete game, one run of that last one hits, one on 4 hits and 3 errors behind her. So
toughest days for pitchers where you know that
Versus today, Shaver takes the loss. Shaver takes the loss. May takes the win.
Yep.
Iowa Central take to watch game 2 of this, but for this one, I've been Tyson.